Hey, hello, and welcome to the show. It is time for JP's product pick of the week, and this is me. I'm JP, and we are here. Thanks everyone for stopping by. And like it says on the tin, thump. It's kind of impossible. Before I go further, however, what I want to do is let you know that we have a couple of products on our list today. So if you want to get a discount on both of these, and they sort of go together, you kind of need one to use the other for the most part, then head to these URLs. There's two of them. I only put one QR code there, but two URLs. Head on over there in your browser. You can watch this show from inside of those two pages. I will appear in one or the other or both if you want. And you will see that we have a humongous discount going on both of these. I'm going to refresh my pages in the background here so I can verify. But woo, yeah, maximum of 10 per customer of each, and they are both half off. So before I go talking about it any further, what I'm going to do is jump back in time a little bit and have Lady Ada tell us about these two product picks of the week. Take it away, Lady Ada.
Joystick.
This is a, it's called like a PSP joystick, but I'm not exactly sure which PSP it was used in. Maybe like the PSP 1000V. It's a style. It's a very low-cost little thumbstick. It has through-hole pads, which I kind of dig. And it's just a little simple XY thumbstick. The other ones we have little cables. This one is the only one that mounts directly onto a PCB, which means that if you have a breakout board, you can use it very easily and very securely in a breadboard.
Yeah. Okay. Now you're probably wondering,
wow,
what would you ever do with something like this?
You could get the joystick breakout that we made, little simple breakout, and solder it all together, and then you can put it on a breadboard. I can show it off. Also, I have that demo here. So this little thumbstick, it's self-centering, and it's analog, so it's two potentiometers. And as you move it around, it'll self-center, but it's just kind of fun, very easy, very intuitive. A lot of people understand that this is a joystick without needing the gigantic, clicker or anything. So I kind of like this. I think when we do projects that do arcadey or video gamey type stuff, we'll probably use this little joystick. Especially the breakout board, I made it, with two strips of header, so it's very secure.
Okay.
Simple, but effective.
And that was the star of the show tonight. Yeah. Besides you, even though the silicone wire was a close.
I know, but this is a custom one, but cute little joystick.
Right. Yes, that's right. That is the product pick. Now, someone just alerted me that I had the wrong link up. I'm not sure if that was here. Let me check, or in the blog post. Must have been in the blog post. I think. So yeah, those are the URLs you want. I had the old one up from last week, probably in the blog post, maybe. But those are the two product pick numbers right there, 3246 and 2765. And I'm gonna grab them right now. Let's have a look at these right here. There are your components you get. And let me grab these two and let's talk about these. So those right there are my product picks of the week this week. It is the mini analog thumbstick and the breakout for said mini analog thumbstick. These are XY or two-axis tiny little potentiometers, and it has a spring in it, so it self-centers. The breakout has power, ground, and two analog pins, and those are actually mirrored on both sides, so you can use either set of those or both, depending on your needs, if you're daisy chaining them. And what I wanted to do is actually show you a little real-life demo of these in action. So I've put together this little gizmo right here, and I'll show you these on the overhead. And let's take a look at how these work. So let me focus that. How's that focus looking? Come back here. There we go, that's pretty close. So here's a little demo where I've taken a QT Py RP2040, I've run a bunch of wiring under there to keep it neat looking, and I'm essentially running power and ground and two analog pins to each joystick. So I have two of these little thumbsticks here. That means I get to use 4 analog inputs, 4 ADC pins, which we have on the RP2040 Cutie Pie. And then I've also run a little I2C OLED there. And you can see as I move these little thumbsticks, I get some values that I've written there, as well as a little moving dot. And I have this sending out MIDI. I'm not going to demo that part of it, but it's essentially sending out some MIDI CC values on 4 axes, 2 per. And so this is really straightforward to use in both Arduino and CircuitPython. I have this in CircuitPython right now. Let me show you what that looks like right there. Let me switch out that background. And I'll grab my code. Really, the key thing here is this right here. I've imported my analog in from the analog IO library. And then right here, I've just defined 4 pins as being for my x-axis and y-axis on each of the joysticks. So I have 4 of them. And then later, when I want to go use these, the key thing is that I'm doing a little analog read. So this right here, I'm setting a value to be the analog read, and then I was setting this to a 0 to 127 value. But you can use whatever fineness of control that you need there. And then I'm using those to change some graphics and send some CCs. So this is really easy to use, really straightforward. If you take a closer look at the boards there themselves, in fact, let me go back to this view. And let's grab that as the background. You can see here the joysticks, the thumbsticks, they have a ground power and the analog, or essentially the voltage divider, per axis. And then those are going to slot, it's only one way it can go, slot neatly into the board there, where the little sets, 2 sets of 3 there are. And then all of those are broken out here to the, you'll see the plus, the plus, Y, X, and minus, and same up here on the top. And then we also have some convenient little mounting holes there. You can see on the demo one, I'm just using one of those mounting holes to hold that OLED screen on there. Let me go to the page here for a second. And you can see here, these are the 2 pages. So yeah, there's some, I screwed up one of the links, I think, but here's one of them, $27.65. That is the thumbstick, and that is $1.25 now, half off. And then if you look at the other link here, this is, where's your ID? $32.46. That's the little breakout board. It's only 75 cents. So buy a bunch of these if you have any ideas for some small little projects. You could use these with wireless projects if you're using Bluetooth or Wi-Fi on your board, depending on the type of board, maybe with a battery. Also, Lamore mentioned that they were, at the time when this was made, we were thinking about using this little analog thumbstick in a future product. Well, that's the thumbstick that's in the Pi Gamer, actually. It might be the only one we have that uses this. But yeah, the Pi Gamer has a little 2-axis analog joystick on it, and this is it, a little thumbstick. You'll also see here, if you want, you can pop off the little cap there, and there's the stem of the joystick, and then you can pop that pad back on there. Maybe use some other type of nubbin on there if you like. Let's see, any questions anyone has. Yeah, so thanks. DJ Devin said it was in the blog, which is where you usually go. So yeah, on my blog post, I had a bum link in there. Sorry about that. I think I know what happened. I edited it and forgot to commit the edit. Let's see. If you want, actually, I think if you head to Learn, the Learn system, I don't think we have a Learn guide on this in particular. It's simple enough that I don't think ever got its own Learn guide. You can, however, look up, if you just look up Thumbstick in search, you will see there are some projects like the arcade projects and my DIY adaptive game controllers projects that reference using an analog joystick, a 2-axis analog joystick. So pretty much any code that uses analog joysticks will work. You can also adapt code that just uses any type of potentiometer and just use 2 instead of 1 analog in to bring in that info. Let's see. Let me know if anyone has any particular questions on these. I'll jump back over to the product page there and give you some time to head on over there and get those. If you want the discount, you don't need a coupon code or anything like that. All you got to do is throw them in your cart and you'll get that price that's listed on there right now. We had a bunch of these in stock, so hopefully sell out, but you should go and grab a few for a rainy day. I've used these also, I think, or a similar one in some eyeball projects. So one of Phil B's earlier pre-Monster Mask eyeball projects that was done using Raspberry Pi has a provision in it for using analog thumbsticks to control eye direction and blink, I think. And you can kind of hold that in your hand or put that in your pocket and have a monster mask with some OLEDs on it using the Raspberry Pi. And you could probably also adapt some of our monster mask stuff to use that. I can't remember if we ever included that. Let's see. I think that's going to do it. Not a lot to show on this one, but a really useful one for any of your costuming projects, small controller projects, video game projects, of course. This is very similar, as Limor said, to the PSP, PlayStation Portable, as well as the sort of dual analog stick that you find on things like a PlayStation or an Xbox or a Switch, as people have shown. So I think that's going to do it. Thanks, everyone, for stopping by. Let's go ahead and finish this up here. I have one neatly arranged with a hang tag on it for a change, so I can prep that there. Hopefully that'll stay put. That's my product pick of the week. This week it is the mini analog thumbstick and breakout. So don't forget, go over to the store, get yourself some, no coupon code needed. You'll get them for half price, up to 10 of them per customer. Thanks everyone for stopping by. For Adafruit Industries, I'm John Park, and this has been JP's product pick of the week. Bye-bye.